Got a few videos here showing you what I've done with my smoker, just so you can kind of see how it's operated. My door latch, just pick up on it like that and pulls out. You got two hooks right here that slides down in. It's built to where when you pull it down, it actually tightens it and pulls it back against the seal that I have in there. So we'll walk around, take a few looks at it. I'll show you some things that I got on there, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and go from there. Take a look at the inside of the smoker first. We've got a couple of steps there. As you can see, this thing from top to bottom, from the top of the smoker, is somewhere around 13 foot tall. And now the smoker's not that tall, but I still need a ladder to get up in there, so I built some solid steps. So inside, what you'll see is a carousel that turns around, just expanded steel and some bracing. You'll see it's split right here in the middle, so I can take off that side and that side both. If I want, I can hang summer sausages in it. You know, it kind of makes it adjustable to whatever size I want to do. Down here, you'll be able to see that right there is a water tank. It's about a 4-gallon water tank. You'll see right there, there's a little pipe that runs in, and that's how I fill it from the outside. So it fills in. There's a lid over the top to keep the drippings from getting into the water. That fills up and boils and keeps me good to go there. It burns about a gallon an hour is what I burn. So this system here, I can step on each one of those. I weigh about 200 pounds, and so each one of those half racks will hold 200 pounds. So between the two, it's got a 400-pound rating, and then I've got five different rings in there. So that's that. It's adjustable. It spins. It's not got a motor on it yet, but maybe someday I will have. And we'll move on to the next thing. As we look at my fenders here, what I did is I wanted as few seams as possible, weldable seams. And to bend it, what I did is I took a cutting blade on just a standard grinder, 7.5, 7-inch grinder, and I scored the back side under here. I scored it all the way along, each one of those places. And then I just took it to a vise and I bent it how I wanted it. I got one the way I wanted it, and I used it as a model on the rest of them. This here in the rear, that was actually my first one, and I messed up. I didn't get it like I wanted, and so I just used it as kind of a cargo holder. As we look up here, I've got a firebox that can hold, or a wood box that will hold all my wood. The expanded metal will let that wood fall down through. This right here, you see this kind of V, that is what the frame of the running gear with the tires that I used were. This is a water fill hole. I didn't want to have to open my smoker door every time I wanted to fill up my water. So you can just see I've got it piped in and down into my water box. Works really, really nice. The reason I don't have it just to where a hose can go in is because I want to keep track of how much water I am using. So doing it this way, I can have a gallon jug and I can fill it up at my convenience. And so now we'll move on to the firebox. Take a quick look at my firebox. Down here we've got this is a fish fryer. This used to be on an old fish fryer. As you can see, I welded half the slots shut. Just take this and you can hook it up here when you're not using it. There's a propane tank that generally sits right there you hook it into. So I'm going to take it out, install it in there, and when you come in here, you light it and you'll shoot a flame out about anywhere from 8 inches to a foot long. You can light any kind of wood in there. You just leave it set and burn. If you want to supplement, you can add some heat that way, but I just used it to start fires. We look in here, and one thing I have done is I've gone back to insulate. I didn't do this first. I should have. I'd do it in the future. It was hard to do after I had everything done. So I had to go back and put some insulation there. I did it on all my walls, and I did it on the ceiling as well inside here. Put a double layer up top. Down here you see I've got a vent, a nice big vent. Now I only need this open about that much to get a 250-degree temperature inside there. Pretty standard. Lock. One thing that you'll notice is a white patch down there where my paint's popped off. Up here you'll see some brown where the same things happened. The place I took it to get sandblasted and painted, the company sent them a bad batch of heat resistant paint. He told me that he'd use it, and if it didn't work, bring it back to him and he'd do it for free. Everything, no problems there. He was excellent to work with. That's Seth Farron out of Albion, Illinois. His website is farronblastingandpainting.com. Go look it up. Farron is spelled F-E-A-R-N. So farronblastingandpainting.com. This would be on there. I think it's on his website actually. He does an excellent job. Call him for any needs in the area. So he's got everything blasted and painted. This is my table. You can see I've got a water hookup right here. I've got a homemade, I made that sink there. Just got a valve to run the water. Little drain. That runs just a lever valve underneath. I made that as well. So pretty standard, pretty simple. It just took some time. So there's the valve. It's just a ball valve you can buy at any hardware store, and I hooked a long steel piece of steel to it. So that's the basic setup. I'm done. I hope I'm done. I hope I don't have to do anything else to it. One of these days maybe I'll add a motor to the top to where I can spin that carousel, but right now the smoke goes in, it circulates around, it does a really good job. You get some tremendous meat out of it. I'm really pleased with the way things went.